Hello, this is Donna Blevins, the big girl of poker, and I'm thrilled to tell you that tonight we have Dr. Alexandra. Sh- okay, I stumbled. Come on, tell me the way.
Chauran.
Chauran, thank you. I practiced it before and I stumbled on it, and that's okay because she is absolutely a delight. We met yesterday to do a test call to be sure technology was working, and I just want to tell you this woman is amazing. So this is the third Thursday talks for Women's Poker Association, and I want to let you know that you can look right back here, Women's Poker Association uniting women poker players worldwide. And I want to thank you all for being here and thank you all for sharing this. And yes, 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 go ahead and speak, then they'll see you. Go,
Hello.
say
I've
it.
got my WPA jacket on to represent.
You used to read tarot cards and have said, I read cards, not minds. What do you mean by that? And how does it help you at the poker table?
Well, I still read tarot cards because they're awesome. And I always say to my clients, I used to do it professionally. Now I sometimes do for old clients. And when people would try and ask me trick questions, like, what am I thinking about right now? I would always just say, I read cards, not minds, because the cards are a tool. And that's basically what they are in poker as well. Poker's like this language between people, and we're using these cards as tools. How cool is that?
Yeah, and it's like a communication, and I love that because when you're playing, people don't realize that you're having a dialogue with the cards. And I think that's one of the things that we need to understand with our poker game.
Absolutely. It feels like words are not our first language, and you can really see that when you're playing poker with people from all nations.
Oh, I love that. And okay, your LinkedIn profile shows a broad range of interests ranging from stand-up comedy all the way to poker. And let me tell you that the first blog post, actually, it wasn't my first one, but it's the one that's pinned on biggirlpoker.com, is about the crossroads of transformation and poker. So how do your interests complement all of the things that you've done?
Well, I will say actually that stand-up comedy seems to be a little bit of a fad right now in the poker world because I've listened to a lot of poker podcasts and I know several other poker players who are also kind of dipping their toes in the water with comedy. And it's funny because I'm also vegan and I know that's like the talk of the town in poker as well because Daniel Negreanu is always starting fights about veganism on Twitter and stuff. And so I think it's funny that I'm involved with these fads. Yes, I'm vegan. Yes, I do stand-up comedy. I'm a poker player now. So I think that it's natural for people to look for different ways to perform or just share their gifts with the world in numerous ways. I love stand-up comedy because it's amazing that there's rooms where we can go and make people laugh, just make people in the room laugh. And that's incredible. It's kind of like having a poker room and knowing that there's always people there that you can walk in there and sit down and they'll play this game with you.
Oh, that is so cool, and I have to admit that uh, I actually wanted to do stand-up comedy years ago. I mean, at 6'5",
Do it.
well, I don't know where I can do it, but at 6 feet 5 inches tall, I've got a lot of funny stuff to talk about. But
Oh,
because
for
I'm
sure.
6'5", my husband is 5'3", and you can just kind of vision that, I mean, and
That's
I'll,
adorable.
and it's been wonderful, and we've had a lot of humor around that. And I actually won a contest when I was a realtor, and I actually did a stand-up comedy routine in front of 7,000 real estate brokers.
Wow.
I hadn't even thought about that in so long. That was so much fun. That was so much fun. Okay, now here, your bio also mentions that you apply Stoic philosophy to your poker game. To me, Stoic philosophy means do the right things as often as possible, and when bad things happen, all you can control is how you respond. Is that what you mean for you as well?
Definitely. I mean, the Stoic philosophers like, Marcus Aurelius, they all wrote about this idea that your inner calm, your peace or happiness doesn't have to depend on external events. And I feel like that's definitely the case with poker, because in the short term, all these external stimuli are coming at you, like maybe a downswing, and you don't have to fall prey to freaking out about it. You can just sort of keep that inner calm and say, you know what, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters are the decisions that I'm making and whether they're right or wrong.
Well, one of the intentions that I did a warm-up call this morning, because today is the start of the ladies event at the World Series of Poker in 2019. And people had been saying, I was actually contacted, and one of my dear friends had said, what is your fee for doing a 15-minute call before a tournament? And I said, oh, I don't even want to go there with that. Let's figure out how to do that without saying this is my fee, because I don't want to choke you, because I never do little pieces like that. But I said, let me do a mind shift on a Facebook Live, and it was astonishing. I posted that I was going to have it today, and there were like 25 shares before I got on, and 14 people were there live, and I've had over 400 views since then. So I'm hoping that will help people, because my intention that I asked them to set shared with them, because this is my intention every time I sit down at the poker table. In fact, I do this intention every morning.
Yeah.
My intention is to make correct decisions with the information at hand and to remain unattached to the outcome.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
I love that.
Thank you. And you're a mother of two.
Mm-hmm.
And how has
they're in the house right now? I'm hoping they stay quiet.
Well, I've got mother's 93 and my husband's 74. I've got 4 dogs. And so, if your dogs, well, that's just the way it is. We have family, and being able to do this from home is really wonderful. Mm-hmm. So, how has being a mother, how has that shaped who you are as a woman and as a poker player?
So much. I am such a better person now that I have kids. I can hardly believe it. When I look back to just kind of how selfish I was, in my 20s before I had my kids, I thank goodness every day that I had them, because it really gives me a sense of perspective to look a little bit beyond my own nose. For sure.
Yeah, and my husband, I'm a stepmom. I never had any biological children, but my husband said when his first child, he has 2 sons. I have 2 stepsons. And he said, and he was always like, he said he'd admit it, he was like a little Napoleon. Mm-hmm. And he said when he held that child, he said all of a sudden he knew that something was bigger than he was.
Exactly. It's such an amazing, miraculous moment when you hold your first child and the second. It's just amazing.
Well, one last thing, a question, and then I want to turn the stage over to you, because I know that you have a PowerPoint deck that I was just astonished with yesterday, and I'm thrilled that you put it together. But you are a cancer survivor, and you have alluded to the fact that the serenity and order of poker may have helped you survive. And poker also saved my life, because it helped me come to that moment of mindfulness. And how did it help save yours?
I think it's because and I'll talk about this a little bit later when I'm talking through my deck, but basically the idea that something else is always coming down the pipeline, that you don't have to dwell on misfortune because the world moves on. It's really hard to be a cancer survivor because there's just this fear in the back of your mind all the time. What if it comes back? And for a while I was letting that fear really rule my life. And I think that poker helped me stop allowing the fear of what if to rule my life.
I love that. That's so awesome. So, and there's one other question. You're a PhD, and I'm a PhD as well. Mine's in metaphysical coaching. What is your PhD in?
Public administration. So basically world domination.
Oh, I love that. And you're a prominent member of your church. And what drives you? How does that fuel your interest in poker?
Well, I think it kind of dovetails with the whole philosophy aspect because, the Stoic wisdom of the ancients kind of colliding with this modern contemporary application of Stoic wisdom. It's amazing. Plus, I mean, it helps to have somebody to pray to at the table.
Yeah, I do that too sometimes. Sometimes take my moment, close my eyes, don't hold my hands like this, but I'm going, just go ahead and they call a clock on me. I'm going, I'm just get my prayer out of the way. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Alexandra. And what is how do people address you? What do you like to be called? Alexandra?
You can
Or
call me Alex. It's fine.
Alex? Well, cool. I just wanted to ask you your preferred.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So go ahead and share your deck, and I'm going to let you have the floor.
Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Let me get my PowerPoint going. Oops, nope. We're going to go view.
Oh, isn't this gorgeous? I love it.
Yes, we'll do the slideshow from beginning. All right, so can you see this?
Absolutely
cool?
Perfect. It's beautiful.
Awesome. I did all the final touches to make it look nice. So yeah, here's the who am I, which you kind of went over already. So I guess I'll breeze by some of this. So of course I'm a WPA advocate. I'm Queen of Diamonds on Twitch, which is a streaming platform. So I'll talk about that because my presentation is on streaming. I'm a level 1 streamer for Run It Once and a newbie. I started playing poker in just December of 2017, so I certainly can't give a whole lot of poker advice to most of y'all, but I did start streaming in December 2018, so I'm new at that too. And what that can tell you is if I can do it, anyone can. And I've led a life of high variance. As I was talking about earlier with my cancer survivorship, I had a rough 3 years right before 2017 when I started playing poker. In 2014, I was in a major automobile accident where a truck crossed the double yellow line and collided head on. In 2015, I got cancer. And in 2016, my husband ran off with my best friend right when I was at my sickest. So,
crap.
I know. So it's kind of a country song of a few years there. So right after those 3 years, when I was just discombobulated, I found poker. And I was like, wow, it turns out that you don't have to be ruled by fear of what's happening tomorrow or the next hand even. You just have to play this one and live for now and make the best decisions you can. So that life of high variance, I think, prepared me for poker's variance because I'm just like, this is nothing.
I love that.
So here's what streaming is. Streaming is a method of transmitting or receiving data, especially video and audio, over a computer network as a steady, continuous flow, allowing the playback to start while the rest of the data is still being received. So it's not like just posting a video online that you've pre-recorded. Streaming is something that's happening live. And if you get disconnected in the middle of your stream, the stream stops. So one important point to make is that for poker, you're going to need to set a delay on your stream. And I have a funny story about that. When I first started streaming, I got a friendly message on Twitch from one of my opponents, and I knew it because it was the same username. And he said, hey, just so you know, you're going to want to set a delay on this because I can see your hole cards.
Oh, no.
And I just want to say, shout out to Super Shep. Thank you so much for telling me that instead of just completely sharking me. In fact, there's a lot of people who do purposely go out there and they do stream sniping of poker players. They look for poker players who are streaming tournaments as they happen, and they look at their hole cards. So The important thing is set a delay, and you can do that with streaming software, no problemo. I experimented with delays. At first, I started with a 5-minute delay, and I found that that was a little too much for my viewers, because when you're streaming, you actually interact with your viewers, like through chatting. And so viewers were having a struggle with the big 5-minute delay. But I found that about 2-minute delay is the sweet spot for me.
Well, and in essence, Facebook Live is, I guess, effectively that's a live stream.
Absolutely.
And I'm using a platform. I started today using the first time I'd done a platform. I'd done some Facebook Lives before, but they were always cumbersome. And this one you set up before and announce that you're going to have it. And then you go into this dashboard and it says, okay, it's got its countdown. And it says, okay, start broadcast. You start it and you immediately stream to Facebook. And then Facebook then keeps it and does a replay. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. And most streaming platforms allow you to do the replays afterwards as well. So why should you stream poker? Well, first of all, to record your play for later review to improve your game. Now, I know most of us probably use Poker Tracker Forward or to record and review hands, but there's a big difference between just having this data here from Poker Tracker 4 and being able to actually watch yourself struggle through a hand. As you're streaming, you can talk through your thought processes. And so it really helped me realize how often I was snap calling, for example, because I would note, instead of giving a reason, I would just be like, I'm gonna call this. And so I work towards not snap calling through reviewing my stream and saying, hey, I need to talk through my decisions more and not just do what I'm gonna do. Another good thing is if you're a beginner to poker or streaming, you can sort of crowdsource advice. I've gotten 2 poker coaches that were actually pretty good through just streaming. I guess they took pity on me. And a lot of the time people will actually give you advice about a hand if you're just sort of timed out and said, oh, I don't know, what would you have done there? And you get sort of real-time advice, which is neat.
Cool.
So yeah. Yeah, and you can also track your improvement if you have a video that you've created through streaming. You can look back at it later, a month later, and say, wow, look at how far I've come, even just with the speed of your decisions and things like that, or, number of tables you're running, what have you.
So how many tables do you usually run at a time if you're...
I'm a noob, so I like to run me 1 table.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, because I always said with all my poker coaching clients, I said, look, I know that the guys that are into this, they like to run, I don't know, the screens are full. And I've seen people say, oh, I run 20 tables. All I got to say is that if you really want to work on your game, pick 1 table.
That's my goal. I want to move up in the stakes, and I feel like I'm not sure how well I'd be able to do that if I'm just kind of making all of these decisions like that.
Yeah.
So another thing is you can actually gain sponsorships by being a streamer. So I actually gained 2 sponsorships through streaming in just like 3 months. So that was pretty awesome. So it's definitely, like I said, if I can do it, anyone can. I'm not even a particularly good player, but because I was visible, it gave me an opportunity to earn some extra money. So that's awesome.
Wow. Cool.
So also you can monetize your videos for extra money. And by that, I mean, you can run ads, or depending on the platform, there's other ways to monetize. And I'll talk about that in a minute. You can also raise money for charity. A lot of people do charity streams where they'll put a link for donations at the bottom and do a stream. There's, for example, St. Jude Play Live is one charity stream that I did, and that's something where they ask streamers to stream and raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And in November every year, there's a streaming event, a gaming event called Extra Life. And you can choose a local charity. I chose British Columbia Children's Hospital because that's near me. My son's being there. And so the idea is that you try to stream for 24 hours. I don't think I'm going to make it, but then you kind of you gather donations just like somebody would if they were running a marathon.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah. And of course, to make friends and influence people, because one thing that's different between streaming and just recording videos and posting them is that you will interact with people real time, and you can definitely make some cool friends. Like somebody staked me in a tournament just on a whim when I was online, and it's neat. I've got some regular folks who show up, and it always makes me smile when I see them in the chat room.
Cool.
So here's a few noteworthy streams. So places and websites often have a stream. It's not only websites like Run It Once and Party Poker, but Stone's Gambling Hall in California and Live at the Bike, they have streams as well. So you can definitely stream live poker as well, as long as it's okay with your casino. But streaming home games is a thing too. I've done that as well. So there's some noteworthy people list here, Christy Arnett and Maria Ho are some streamers, as well as some of our favorite dudes like Jonathan Little and the rest. So these are some folks who do stream, and even if some of them it's kind of rare. And I find it neat that, the big guys and the little guys are all streaming.
Wow, that's amazing.
So here are the two biggest platforms for streaming online, YouTube and Twitch. There's also some other ones called Mixer and Caffeine, and there's a bunch more, but I would recommend that you go with the big ones because they're probably going to still be around in a few years, and some of these smaller ones will just pop in and out of existence, and that would suck to lose all your videos or followers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give some comparisons of these things. So first, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of going with YouTube, because most of y'all will probably be familiar with YouTube. The pro is that it is more well-known. Everybody's heard of YouTube. So, if you tell a family member, oh, come watch me stream on YouTube, they'll be like, oh yeah, totally. But if you say, come watch me stream on Twitch, they'll be like, the what on the who now? Another benefit of YouTube is that you can actually stream directly from your browser, just like you probably did with Facebook Live. So you don't have to really fiddle with a whole lot of software. If you're not super technologically literate, it might be easier for you to stream via YouTube. Another pro is that there's automatic archiving, by which I mean when your stream is done, your video will be there, and it'll be there in a few years. It'll just sit there on YouTube. It'll keep racking up views and all that. And also people can stumble across your videos who weren't even looking for streamed poker. On YouTube, people fall down a YouTube hole where they'll click, related video, until pretty soon they're watching something that's totally unrelated to what they were originally watching. And the benefit of that is you can expose more people to poker. Some of the cons of YouTube, though, is that some prominent YouTube folks like Jamie Staples and Parker Talbot have recently had videos removed with a message that said that we're promoting online gambling. And they're still trying to appeal that and all that. And nobody's really sure whether it was just a YouTube algorithm and if it was because they were streaming Poker Stars and that's an online site. Like, is it the same if you're, not streaming a site, but you're streaming your home game? Like, it doesn't make sense. And so it might be a good idea to wait till all that shakes out before you start streaming on YouTube. And also YouTube has made monetization of videos, as in running ads, much harder over the last few years. So it's unsure whether they're going to move the goalpost again. Like, I used to be a YouTube partner, and then they increased the number of people that had to be subscribed and the number of hours viewed. And I'll talk about that a little bit later.
But by the way, I just have to say this is terrific. I'm enjoying this, and I know everyone else will enjoy this too. So this is Fabulous, Alex. This is wonderful. Please continue. I just had to jump in and say you're doing it. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Twitch pros and cons. So, Twitch has a great discovery feature that helps direct an audience to you who is looking for online poker. So, people will just surf through Twitch, and they're very specific. People come to Twitch to watch people gaming. And so they're looking for poker, they will find you, and that's really cool. Commenters are generally more friendly and supportive on Twitch, especially to women. I like to joke that YouTube commenters are basically the lowest form of life in the internet, and sometimes they are. People can be really rude on YouTube. And that's not to say that people can't be rude on Twitch too, but in my personal experience, there's just no comparison. People on YouTube are way worse. So if you're kind of sensitive, if you have a thin skin, then definitely don't do YouTube.
Well, I had actually gotten a Twitch account and I was going to set up something, but I got really confused with the software that was required. I just really got confused by it, and I'm happy to learn how.
Yeah, I will get to that in a bit. Yeah, that's a big difference between YouTube and Twitch, is that I was confused by it too. I got on Twitch and I was like, well, how do I make for the stream go? And Twitch, the weird thing is, Twitch does not help you make your videos at all, pretty much. They just are a platform for distribution. So I tried to download Twitch apps and Twitch this and Twitch that. And I was like, all this is doing is letting me watch videos. And it's true. All of their platform is basically directed towards being like a pipeline. Like you're piping those videos up there and they are distributing them, but they don't help you create them. Content creation is your own business. And I'll talk about the software required in a little bit, but you do have to have software. You can't just automatically do it like with YouTube. So with Twitch, though, you can export your videos to YouTube. So you can export them. They won't be a live stream, but they can exist on YouTube permanently, which is important because on Twitch, if you start out on Twitch, your videos don't last forever. They will last for 14 days and then they'll expire and go away. And sometimes that's good. You don't want to keep every lousy session you've ever had online forever. I'm kind of glad that some of those have disappeared. But yeah, you do have to sort of manually export to YouTube it's really easy to do. You just click once and boom, it's up on YouTube. So you can save all those like awesome sessions that make you look like a rock star.
I love it.
And cons are, not very many people outside Twitch will understand its monetization features because it has different monetization features. They do run ads for partner level people, but for affiliate level, which is what I am, you have to sort of sell subscriptions, which doesn't make sense to some people because you can follow a person. Followers and subscribers are different things. You can follow someone for free, but you pay to subscribe in order to support the streamer. And then there's these things called bits, which are just these like electronic animated things that people can buy a whole pack of, and then they can use them in the chat as little emojis and stuff, and that pays you money, which is a weird concept and it might be hard to explain.
No,
and so I'm having trouble.
No, I actually get it. I mean, I think it sounds like a great idea. And I'm actually in the process of putting together a subscription service for mind shifting. And I'm thinking, is Twitch a platform to even consider that? I'm wondering.
That would be great because a lot of Twitch streamers they provide their own benefits. You have to provide your own benefit. You have to provide either additional content, which is what you would be doing, or, send them a patch or something. You have to figure out something that's going to encourage people to subscribe. Some people just say, subscribe to support me, and people will subscribe just to support you. But if you want a large number of subscribers, you're definitely going to have to provide some kind of benefit for them that is above and beyond just following you, because you can do that for free.
So what I was thinking about is some way to provide mind shift exercises that people can use. And now, can they download a Twitch video from Twitch, or Yeah, since it's up for only 14 days,
Right.
how would that
So
work?
yeah, it's kind of tricky. There are what's called Twitch extensions where you can provide additional content. So, for example, so Twitch extensions are like applications that work with Twitch. So they show up in your video, or they show up, below your feed there, and you can provide all kinds of other things. There's like games people can play. Just there are millions of extensions out there. There's an extension for everyone. And one of them is a subscriber additional content extension, which is one that I use. And you can post all kinds of things within that only subscribers can see.
Cool. Well, I think I need to check that out then.
And if you want, you can also set your videos on demand, those 14 days of video, to subscribers only, so that only subscribers can watch back videos on demand.
Cool. Okay.
So here's a monetization comparison between YouTube and Twitch. So these are the requirements for monetizing, providing ads and things on your videos. So for YouTube, you have to have more than 1,000 subscribers, and you have to have 4,000 watch hours in 12 months. So that's averaging 334 watch hours a month. That's a lot. That's a lot of watch hours. I'm just going to tell you right now. For Twitch, you have to have more than 50 followers, which are the same as subscribers on YouTube. You have to average 3 to 75 viewers per program in a 30-day period. So they have two programs. They have two levels of monetization: affiliate and partner. I'm an affiliate, so I have an average of over 3 viewers, for 30 days. And you have to stream for 8 to 25 hours in 30 days and stream on 7 to 12 different days in 30 days, depending on those two programs. Now, a warning though, it's really hard to achieve partner status as a poker player. There's just the audience for streamed poker is really a niche one, obviously, and there's some other great streamers out there that are providing that, but it's hard to get there. In fact, some of those really famous people that I was pointing out earlier, even they haven't achieved partner status. If you have to be like Lex Valdez to get partner status. So just a little interjection of realism there. So here's some software that I have actually test driven for this, and I'll tell you some of the features, benefits, and bad things. So the first one I tried was XSplit Broadcaster, which is free to download. And the bad thing is you have to pay to unlock the delay feature. The good news is it's only $5, so that's cool. One benefit of XSplit Broadcaster is that you can broadcast on multiple platforms simultaneously. So you could stream to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at one time.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. But the downside is, honestly, the software is pretty janky. Like, I was always having trouble with it. It's not user-friendly. And there was often just problems with it that I had to like update this or do that to fix. So I ended up going away from XSplit Broadcaster and using OBS Studio, which is also free to download, way more user-friendly. And I haven't had the like crashing issues and things that I was having with XSplit, but you can't do the cool thing where you simulcast to lots of different networks. So the next two are ones that I've tried for smartphones. One is called Streamlabs, and that's the one that I use to record my screen on my smartphone. Like if I'm on mobile and I'm playing, party poker on my phone, I can share the screen on my phone and play, and I can talk. It uses your mic, and you can do that, and which is really good if you play poker on sites that are only mobile apps, like PP Poker or something like that, where you can't play on your computer. And there's another app called IRL TV, and that's great for live poker streaming because you can just you can use your phone's camera and set it up so it's got the mic and everything. It's a really slick program, so you can use the chat features with it, which is kind of impossible to do if you're sharing your screen. So that one's great for live poker streaming. And again, Some casinos do not allow you to photograph, video record, or stream within them. I keep saying this warning because I know people who have been kicked out of casinos permanently, and it would suck to get banned from your home casino for this. So definitely talk to people before you do that. But it's great for home games. So how to get viewers. So you've set up, you've downloaded software, you've signed up for Twitch, and you're ready to get some viewers. Well, step one is to create great content, and it's going to take some time for you to find your voice. I guess it's awkward at first to like talk to yourself, especially if there's someone else in the house, and it's like, oh, okay, this is awkward, but you'll get there. And it also takes some time to learn how to engage your viewers, and people do this in many different ways. Like the extensions help a lot. I know a poker streamer who uses an extension that to host trivia, so she does trivia while she's playing poker, which is kind of cool. So anyway, interacting with your audience, step two, is really a main thing. You have to interact in order to get viewers, because a lot of people are looking for that interaction. That's why they're watching live poker instead of just videos. And three is stream regularly and often. This is the biggest piece of advice you'll hear repeated over the internet. If you Google like how to get viewers, you have to stream regularly if you can, so that people can predict when you're online. I don't obey this rule because I'm a mom, so life is very irregular, but I'm sure I'd get more viewers if I did. And I do stream often, which is important as well, because if you disappear for a while, so will your viewers. And four is promote yourself. You can do this via social media. You can do this via finding, for example, there's a lot of streamer groups on Facebook, poker streamer groups, where you can post when you're going online. And there's a chat application called Discord, which is for gamers specifically. And there are a lot of Discord servers where people post when they're going online, or it auto posts when you're going online. And that's helpful too. So just kind of promoting yourself is an important part too. And I just wanted to share a little bit about the Run It Once streamer program. That's not a typo. They call it streamer without an ER to be cute, because R for Run It Once. And I'm not being paid to promote this. I just think it's a really awesome opportunity, and everybody who streams should definitely just jump on board. So they offer an extra 50 to 100% rake back for streaming at least one Run It Once table. And, you can stream other tables at the same time. And I achieved level 1 streamer status in 2 months' time, but I haven't achieved level 2 yet. I'm going to make a big push in November with Extra Life. So level 1 is 200 watch hours, which is doable, 10 average viewers, and 20 hours streamed per month, which I accidentally achieved the Twitch affiliate status while I was working to achieve Run It Once level 1. And again, I mentioned I'm not yet YouTube partner status. I lost that when they changed the rules. So it's doable to become a level 1 streamer on Run It Once. You'll get some rake back. You'll get a Run It Once community behind you, and Run It Once will help you sort of promote your stream. So it's win-win, I think. I was like, well, I'm going to be playing poker anyway. I might as well do this.
And by the way, I just got to say, you're in Canada, I'm in the U.S., so sigh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sigh.
Yeah, sorry, U.S. people. No Run It Once for you, but if
so
you're not
sad.
in the States,
I'm
yeah,
so sad.
you should be. It's awesome.
Oh, I'm so sad.
And that's it. So I'll kind of open it up to if anybody has any questions.
No, everybody absolutely loves it. You've got more information than they ever expected. This is absolutely wonderful. Send me a friend request and a whisper message on Twitch. Tell me about a whisper message.
That's just like a private message, just like Messenger and Facebook. That's what they call it on Twitch. It's a whisper message because everybody doesn't see it, So it's not like the chat where everybody sees the chat.
So tell me what your take is on, you're an advocate, ambassador for Women's Poker Association. Tell me what you tell people about WPA.
Oh, at the end of every stream, I always say, please give me a follow if you haven't already. And then I say, and by the way, if you're a woman who is at all interested in poker, please join the Women's Poker Association because it's totally free to join and they offer so many opportunities for learning. So check out their website at wpa.poker and you can join on up.
Well, thank you. I mean, you just closed out today, and I want to tell you this has been an absolute delight. What else would you like to share with us today?
I just want to offer some encouragement because, like I said, if I can do it, anyone can. And if you try to look into streaming and it's just super confusing, please know that all of us experience that deep confusion and you can work through it. If you've got any kind of tech savvy person that can help you with the software, that definitely helps. But the easiest thing to do is just jump in, sign up for an account, and try out some things. If you can't figure out the desktop software, try out a mobile app because those are user friendly, and just take baby steps. My first stream was definitely not as awesome as it is now because I had to figure out things like the layout of how it looked later on. Like at first it was just kind of the tables here and there's a webcam there and that's it. And now I have like borders and advertisements and it looks all slick. So just take baby steps. You'll get there.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I'm just reminded of is it's better to be messy than not taking action.
Exactly. And yeah, my first streams were lousy, but I sent them to YouTube so I can look back at them now, and I'm glad to see how far I've come.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I want to let you know that if just as Alex said, Women's Poker Association, go join WPA.poker. Please do. I want you to know that it's supportive of women. The motto is uniting women poker players worldwide, and that is my mission, is to help bring people together and to help women learn. Because one of the things I've found is that oftentimes women don't have the kind of support at home when they play poker that a lot of men do. And I'd like to see how we can, I keep thinking I should do a program on how to talk with your partner or your spouse about poker. I mean, what have you found about that? Let me just, we've got just a few more minutes. We're going to keep this right about 45. So what do you think about, can you suggest for people to deal with partners or spouses in relationship to poker?
You know what? I have a really awesome fiance who is so incredibly supportive of my poker obsession. I think that, like I was prepared for, a discussion where I'm just like, hey, I'm playing this online poker. It's kind of like going to an arcade, except for sometimes the game gives me money back, but, so I think, being realistic about poker helps. But I'm lucky because he's a gamer, so he understands video games, and he's like, whatever makes you happy, that's cool. And for my birthday, he gave me $200 and was like, go to the casino, and pushed me out the door. So it's just I lucked out. I definitely hit it big with this one.
Oh, congratulations. That's wonderful. And my husband is, we call him the coach's coach because he was the one that taught me to play in 1998. No, 1996. Sorry, 1996. And it was a great diversion because I was in a business where was overwhelmed and I needed a recreation and I needed something to give me some time to myself. And that's how I say poker saved my life, because it actually gave me the opportunity to realize that there's only one thing we have control over, and that's how we play the cards we have, because no cards exist that have come before. The ones that are not yet here are not yet dealt. So that's a mindfulness. That's what poker helped me find the calm within the chaos.
That's beautiful.
And I want to say thank you, Alex. It's been wonderful spending time with you. And this is Donna Blevins, the big girl of poker. And remember, Women's Poker Association. Please go join WPA.poker. Thank you.
Thank you.